just double check, make sure everything's alright. Stream is informing me that there are some connection problems. I'm not sure how those are. So someone do tell me if anything starts to collapse and you feel the walls closing in and the end time's coming. Yeah, it said I'm getting some notifications. Normally the Twitch is telling me that the stream is excellent quality, which is, I appreciate the compliment. But yeah, we're dropping some frames. Or we were before, but we aren't at the moment, so it might be fine. But yeah, let me just grab Spotify. Where is Spotify? Here it is. I'm going to get some music. I'll probably I'll get that up for in a minute. But basically, the plan for today, I did a fairly longer stream last time. We played some Risk of Rain afterwards. I do not have time to do that today. Instead, I would say I've been working all afternoon. I mostly just zoned out when I got up at like midday and just zoned out for like an hour. We are looking at Barbarian stuff today. And yeah, we are still dropping frames. Very strange. As long as I don't sound too off the wall, it should be all good. But it depends. Things I may have to like restart the stream or something like that if things go a bit tits up. But we shall see. I'm unsure what Twitch is doing at the moment. It doesn't seem to really want to do anything for me. Wouldn't sort my thumbnails last night. It was a right pain in the ass. But yeah, we're looking at Barbarians. We're doing a variant feature for Barbarians today that replaces Reckless Attack. Okay, that's good. But yeah, it replaces Reckless Attack in a way that doesn't actually replace it. I tweeted about it, but I didn't like. Oh shit! The stream started making noises on my end. That should be fine now. Right. Basically, my idea is something I've been wanting to toy around with for a while, and this is my opportunity to do it. Is a thing called outlets. That's not like a final name, but basically what it is take extra attack and put it in a little category zone with a bunch of other abilities. So you can pick extra attack if you want it, but there's also a whole bunch of others that you can take that are of the same ilk. Effects of reasonable power with notable downsides. Obviously, Reckless Attack is you get advantage on all melee strength weapon attacks on your turn. But when you do that, all attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn. That's a pretty hefty penalty for an ability that is admittedly quite useful, especially at later levels when Barbarians become very good when they crit stuff. But at the same time, it's nothing particularly crazy. Barbarians also do suffer from the problem of they fall off, and they fall off real hard at later levels. Like, once you sort of crest 10th or so level, Barbarians really don't get much better from there. A lot of the martial classes have this problem, except Rogue. Rogue is has a very clear linear progression in how their sneak attack goes up from 1d6 to 10d6. So being able to slap somebody for an extra 35 points of damage at like level 17 is probably pretty good. I think it's 19 actually is when they cap out rogues. Yeah, it's 19. But yeah, hang on, let me swap to my Word document capture screen. Okay, right, this is what I have so far. Just some general notes. So this replaces Reckless Attack, and then of the outlets, you can pick Reckless Attack anyway. So Reckless Attack isn't gone. If you still want it, you can take it, because a lot of people are a lot of players are very resistant to having their shit changed, and some of them just want to play the base version. Players rarely have a problem with new stuff, added stuff. But when it's at the cost of stuff they already had, or already were going to have, some of them get a bit pissy about it. And for good reason. Some play in my home game, it's tough shit. That's just how that works. If something gets changed, it's changed, that's done. Whereas you know, in the majority of other games, that is not the case at all. The game goes completely unchanged, and whilst that's, you know, that's a perfectly, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. We do need to be mindful of it when we're sort of designing, in that if we're going to change shit, there's going to be a lot of people who are just like, no, I don't want that. Unless it's Ranger. People seem to be pretty open to having Ranger torn apart and put back together, Frankensteined, like some kind of horrible monster. That's pretty common. But that's because, realistically, Ranger does need to be ripped to shreds and sewn back together to be worth much of anything. I have some tea. The stream is still having some problems. I'm not sure whether it's making any difference to you guys at all. Hopefully not. But all going well. We shall carry on. Oh, well, evidently it's just dropping frames, which, you know, when we're looking at a static image of a word, well, it's not an image, it is actually me streaming my screen. But when, yeah, no. Well, in that case, I'm going to put on some music. Oh, almost put on, as much as I would love to play some John Battle for you, I have a feeling without his permission, as incredible as he is, I think without his permission he would not be very happy with me playing his music. So instead we're going to play some Harris Heller, which is the music I always use because it's free. And he that's the whole point. It's the reason he made it, is for people like me to use it. Or, well, people like anybody to use it is the point. Which is very cool. Drinking some more tea. But yeah, we're going to go for a couple of hours. Towards the end, I may switch over to something else. I'm not sure what, but because this may not take anywhere near as long as I think it's going to. But yeah, basically the first step is I wrote some flavor text. Oh, that should be in 2, Mortal Peril. So you learn, let's say 2 outlets from the list. List at the end of the class description. The idea is obviously that outlets are like the Barbarian's form of Warlock invocations. You flip to the back of the Barbarian section, and then, oh, here are the outlets. And there's, you know, in this instance, is it the audio or is it just the video? Because if so, I shall restart the stream. I'm not sure what it's doing, or why it's doing it, more specifically. I've never had this problem before. Hang on. Let's Google it. Is it just the audio that's because it may well be that I'm playing music and it sounds like shit. If so, I will mute my PC audio, and that might make a bit of a difference. Oh, strange. Yeah, it's telling me I'm dropping a lot of frames, and the bitrate is not all that good. How does one... Hang on. I don't want to notify... restarting... I've never had to do this before. Streams without notifications. Potentially, but, Oh, But, yeah, if it continues to be a problem, oh, okay. Well, it might have just been... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, as I say, tell me if it gets really bad, like you're starting to not be able to, like, hear me, or you're losing sections of sentences, because at that stage, I'm definitely going to need to restart the stream. But if it's just a little funny in places, every so often, that's probably okay. It could be on my end. I genuinely don't know, though. I've absolutely no idea. This is like never happened before. My internet has been okay all day. Generally speaking, my internet's really good. Because British internet is very cheap and very good. Generally speaking, at least. Speed-wise it is, that's for sure. The consistency is a little spotty in places. Depending on who you're with. Right, at the end of you learn 2 outlets from the list at the end of the class description. Each outlet has its own... Each outlet has its own that allow it to be used and its own individual drawback. Drawback is one word. What am I doing? Its own individual drawback. Yeah, I'm not going to turn my webcam on because that will definitely make the lag a lot worse. Also, watching my face sort of like jump cut across the screen is just going to be uncomfortable for everybody involved. And its own individual drawback. If an outlet requires a creature to make a saving throw, the DC for that saving throw is as follows. Oh shit. 8 plus your Constitution modifier, because that's sort of the Barbarian's secondary stat that's really important, plus your proficiency bonus. I think I've done that the wrong way around. I think it goes like that. Is the... Yeah, I think this is the way to go. So, this is... yeah, I think this is the way to go. So, I think that's the feature. I don't think there's any specifics we need to put on there. Like, this paragraph probably doesn't need to be here, but it sort of contextualizes what the outlets actually mean. And I'm sure there's going to be someone who goes, when can I use my outlets? And, you know, without actually reading the ones that they have. So having, you know, at least one or more places where that kind of thing can be sort of, you know, put down and written in plain text for players to read is generally fairly useful. It's not always the case, but is very often quite useful. It's so weird. It's still doing it. I don't know what the hell is going on. It's dropping like 40% of frames every, you know, over the course of... Holy shit. Yeah. That's really weird. Very strange. Oh, this is quite good. Okay. So, now we basically need to get ourselves into sort of a position where we're coming up with more sort of things surrounding Reckless Attack. I think I have some notes here somewhere, sitting around. No, I thought I had notes. Evidently I do not. Well, shit. I could have sworn I wrote a bunch of ideas down, but evidently I did not. You may not. So, obviously Reckless Attack is, it makes your attacks better, but makes your enemies' attacks better. So, by that sort of logic, a lot of these abilities should probably be symmetrical. And my money is that... Ooh, here's an idea. Here's an idea. Overpower. when you force a creature to make a saving throw, you may cause that creature to suffer disadvantage on that saving throw. When you do so, you suffer disadvantage on all saving throws you make against effects originating from another creature. No, my thought was that it would be... So, obviously Barbarian does not inflict saving throws very often, but in the instance where they do, they're usually against like pretty substantial effects where you really want them to fail. So when a Barbarian overpowers someone, it sort of knocks them prone or something to that effect. But in that overexertion, they suffer disadvantage on saving throws. I'm not... Oh, I just hit my mic, whoops. I'm not sure whether that's gonna work, like, at all. That could be majorly... No, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. This is too much. Too much. It's too much of a downside for not much of an upside, and Barbarians don't inflict saves all that often. This is the challenge here. Alternatively, here's a thought, is that we could take the downside of Reckless Attack and make it so that all your outlets have the same downside, which would allow us to be a lot more creative and a lot more widespread in the types of outlets that we make. Yeah, contested skill checks, that could be kind of interesting. Yeah, making it so that whenever you use an outlet, you suffer this penalty, as opposed to each one having its own individual penalty, but at the same time, that makes them a lot less interesting. So it's that sort of trade-off, is like, ease of design, interesting design. It's a very, sort of, almost impossible to balance sort of scale, especially with effects like this. Also, welcome in, Spider Silk. Not... See, I've gotten this far, I've gotten to the setup point, and now I'm like, See, bonus damage can be cheesed too easily. Like, just slapping bonus damage on top of attack rolls is usually a bit of a... Ooh, here's a thought. I like this one. Right, I don't know what I'm not gonna try and come up with a name for this. I have no idea, but whenever you would be forced to make a saving throw, you may choose to gain advantage on that saving throw. When you do so, you suffer, you reduce your current hit points by, so it's not damage, so it can't be halved, can't be resisted or anything like that, because it's not damage, by an amount equal to your Barbarian level. It's probably not high enough. It should probably be twice your Barbarian level, because that's a big cost. Equal to twice your Barbarian level. Because at higher levels, you getting advantage on that saving throw is the difference between you can take 40 damage with on your 200 health Barbarian, or you can take the 100 damage that the opponent is about to throw at you. Is my thought here. Maybe it should scale in a less sort of linear fashion, because At lower levels, its impact might be too low, and at higher levels, its impact is way too high with something like this. But then again, you're a barbarian. When you're at a high enough level where you're going to be taking like over 30 damage, last straw. I like that line of thinking. I'm not 100% on it, but I like that sort of. I was thinking of like grit, like a grit thing. My initial thought was like nail biting defense, but no, nail biting is like you know, nervousness and fear, and that doesn't work at all. Titan's endurance, Titan's tenacity is cool, but it's too, like, alliteration is great, but I think in this particular instance it makes it sound kind of stupid. Go down swinging. No, it's not about you dying. I think it's the thing. One second. We are just dropping all of the frames right now. It's a bad time. It's a bad time. Final Fortitude. I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. This is probably. I'm not sure about this scaling. Like, there's going to be some maths involved here. I think we might have to break out the old Excel real quick. Okay, let me. Right, so level 1. And let me see if I can. 1 second. Bam. Is that gonna work? It does. Haha. Oh, it's off screen. There we go. Right. So this we're doing some good old maths here. So con, generally speaking, a barbarian is going to start with no less than like +3, +2 or +3 con. Assuming standard array is in play here, we'll assume it's +2. But well, generally speaking, barbarians will pick like a favorable race, you know, like Goliath or something, or Hill Dwarf. So we'll say it's +3, and at level 8 we'll say they boost it to 4, and then like 16 it's probably a +5 by that stage, give or take. Like, this is very loose. So our hit points at level 1 will be 15. Some game maths right here is equal to this plus 6.5, because the D12 hit dice averages a 6.5. We need to add floor. Oh, whoops. I added too few arguments in this function. I feel like, oh wait, no. Did I floor it or seal it? No, or whatever. Like, this is probably works just fine. Wait, no, it doesn't. Whatever. Whatever. So let's assume this is our Barbarian's hit points. So then we get and hit points, so the cost is equal to this plus this times 2. I know this is very thrilling, but this is very crucial. So what percentage of our hit points does this constitute? Percent cost. Let me just make sure equals this divided by this. Okay, around here it becomes pretty nasty. Like, in this sort of area, it's like, oh, that's... I mean, to be fair, they all... So at level 1, we're looking at, like, not much cost. Well, level 1 is actually off the table, technically, because, you don't even have the ability at level 1, so never mind. But, so we can ignore level 1. So it averages at 19% of your overall hit points, which is not, like... See, this is the thing. This is the thing. Is that this is a very sort of substantial cost. Because obviously, not you... Oh, I think the stream has gone back up to a normal bitrate now. Is it fixed? Your stream quality is good. Huzzah! Watch it drop again. And we're still, like, dropping, like, almost 30% of all frames, so never mind. But it should be fine, because my face isn't on the screen, and apparently, at least, it's not affecting audio, which is good. Is good. So, I know this isn't the most thrilling thing on the planet. Yeah, I think that's the thing, but I suppose that's also, like, Barbarian is one of those classes where it's like, oh, you be the big stupid guy, but you also need to take really smart risks and do lots of maths. I think Barbarian is arguably the most, like, if you want to play it to its fullest capacity, is the most maths-heavy class in the game. Just simply on the grounds of the fact that you always need to be thinking of, like, do I want to reckless or do I want to not? Because... yeah, you are resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, but that Firebolt still has advantage. Scorching Ray still has advantage. That's a lot of fucking damage. And when you're level 213, or no, level 2, you have 213 hit points, that doesn't matter quite as much. But I think, yeah, Spider Silk, you're definitely right. Like, at higher levels, you may end up taking more damage than you have health. Or more damage from this than you would have done from the actual thing. But I guess at higher levels, it sort of becomes that instance of, I only use it when I know I'm fucked. You know, when you're about to be, when you powered stun, for example, which, you know, like Barbarian Wisdom save, yikes. You know, you use this and you power through the stun, and, you know, the damage you would have taken when you were stunned, all attacks are at advantage, you know, double chance to crit. It's probably worth it, you know. Oh, that's very true as well. But then again, Grow Up a Master, Barbarians always take that too. So that's, you know, another, like, level of that's that maths that you're talking about is that's the only way Barbarians could be even remotely good at high levels, is by taking Grow Weapon Master. It's because they kind of suck at low levels. I think at low levels the cost is okay, you know? Like, certainly up to 5th, I think the cost is very fair. But after that, it becomes a bit sort of like, oh, holy shit, that's a lot. So I think instead, we should be equal to by 2d6 minus your constitution modifier? Question mark? No, because then it's just costless. Start at 1d6. The amount at which you reduce your current hit points when you use this outlet increases as you gain Barbarian levels. So now, if we do this, we can... Well, let's start with... every 2 levels after second. So now we can sort of... we can... cost 2%, cost 2. That's 3.5, 3.5, 7, 7. And it should be... So 10.5, 10.5, 14, 14, 21, 21, 28, 28, oh shit, no, not there, 28, 35, 35, right? Is that? No, that's, oh, it needs to go there. I can probably just take this off, to be fair. Oh, whoops. Well, shit. Yeah, no, we got to keep 1 in there, but that's okay. 0. We'll just ignore it. So 14. It still caps out. Oh no, no, because that's average as well. Yeah, no, that's way too much. If we go every 3 levels, see, this is like, I feel as though this may have been a mistake. We're diving down a rabbit hole that has no visible end in sight, which is never a good thing. Oh shit! I need to turn those fucking keyboard because they piss me off, and I deliberately turned them on for some reason at some stage in the past. Oh shit. Okay, I think this is probably a lot fairer. I think we may have actually reached a reasonable middle ground here. Because... so we're looking at, like, so max cost... 666. That's true, but there's not so much a thing as like obviously, you know, there's sort of the perception of luckier players, but I guess that's kind of I get like reckless attack is a gamble. This is also a gamble, you know. I see what you mean though. This is variable damage to negate variable damage, so I think you definitely have a point, but I'm not 100% sure it's gonna Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. Oh, 24, 24. Ah, yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, but then again, in that case, if you have shit hit points, you just don't pick this one. I think, like, I think that probably like averts that problem in that if you're aware that your hit points as a barbarian are not that good for what they should be, you just don't take this one. That might not be like the best solution to the problem, but at the same time, like, I'm not sure if it's that much of a problem either, you know? Because my goal, at the very least, is to have, like, 7 or 8 of these, and for you to end up with, like 4 of them. Maybe 5. And if you don't have the hit points for it, then you just say no thank you to this one. But I'm not sure. It depends. It could be messy. It could be, but I think for now I'm. That's true. That's true. But I think there are other aspects of that in the game. I'm not sure. I can't think of another like reasonable payoff for this though. I think it's the biggest issue. I think it's certainly my biggest problem I'm having so far is that I can't see like a better payoff to like advantage on any save you want, and you take a bit of damage. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think as a barbarian, you're always going to have more hit points than everybody else. Like, what's like low for a barbarian? So let's look at like low hit points. Like a barbarian with good enough con, but like just has rolled like shit. I think we'll give that a little look-see. Oh shit, I need to turn that shit off. Wait. Oh, I see what I've done. Whoops. Oh, that does change this quite a bit, actually. If you're a barbarian who consistently rolls below average, you wind up with 147 hit points. And it ends up costing 20% of your health. But the likelihood is if you roll poorly, you'll be somewhere in the middle here. So we're probably looking at like... Yeah, I think... Yeah, this does, certainly at level 8, where it caps out at like 18% of your... Yeah, whenever it peaks, it goes up to like 18%. I see what you mean, 100%. But I don't know how else to sort of represent this, you know? I'm not sure if it's quite as crazy, but... I'll keep it for now. I will come back to it. Because I think it's in a position where it's sort of... Because when you're in sort of like the tier 4, it's not uncommon for a barbarian to have access to some kind of like superior tanking tool, which could increase their hit points or their effective hit points even further. But again, it really depends. I'm also like, this scaling is very messy. It scales up every 3, so it goes like even, like odd, even, or even odd, even odd. It's very, very odd. It's very strange. 15, 16, 17. Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep this here for now, but yeah, I definitely see the point that it could be too much of a cost. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But we have a thing of, you can just go, you know, whoosh, saving throw. Another one, is my thought, was when you would take... Oh, I had an idea whilst we were doing maths. Oh shit, it's still, I forgot I need to... Hang on. There we go. I forgot to change it back to Word. I will keep this Excel document open though. So we have Final Fortitude, an extra attack, Relentless Attack. Reckless Attack, there we go. Ooh, here's a thought. Is we make it so that so my thought is, I can't think of a name, is I'm not sure what sort of game application this would have, but you take damage, and you can choose to halve that damage and take the remaining damage on your next turn. I don't know, like at the end of your next turn. I feel like there's an instance where that's really, really good, but I don't know what that is. That's true, yeah. Every odd damage amount, you reduce it by 1. Every single time. To be fair, it could... On loan. No, my thought was, like adrenaline rush or something. But I'm not sure what sort of game application that has, is the problem. Adrenaline rush. There's only one D in adrenaline, isn't there? Yeah, shit. I committed to the extra D, and I was wrong. Wrong. Whenever you would suffer damage, you may instead choose to take only half that damage. The remaining damage is instead dealt to you at the end of your next turn. The obvious application of this is damage that would knock you unconscious, otherwise doesn't, and you get an extra turn. But outside of that, I genuinely don't know. And I think also that extra sentence does bypass the technically taking 1 less damage every single time it's an odd amount of damage. I think. Like, certainly rules is intended. But that doesn't work if they don't know your intent, so. Yeah, so it says the remaining damage. It doesn't then say you take that damage again. I don't particularly like the song, I'll change it. I don't like this album, actually. It's a bit strange. But, oh, yeah, that too. But sort of the obvious instance is that where you're gonna go down, but you want that extra turn, or you want someone to have the opportunity to heal you if that's an option. But there's no real cost for it. But maybe there doesn't need to be. Maybe this is just kind of okay as a thing to have, because it makes barbarians even harder to kill. This damage reduction has no effect on poison or psychic damage, which makes sense, because, you know, if someone's assaulting your brain, or, you know, there's poison in you, adrenaline's gonna make that way worse, because it makes your blood pump faster, and thus the poison goes through you way quicker. And also, blood doesn't really help when your brain is liquid. You know, when your brain has sort of diffused into your cranial fluid. As a fine mist, because you've been psychic screamed to death. So yeah, I think, again, I'm not 100% on this, because again, like, it has a very limited application, but it is kind of cool, so, you know, it's kind of cool. And I think that's what we're aiming for here, is just cool stuff. Now, I want to experiment with bonus damage, but I'm not 100% sure whether I should be doing that, or what the cost for it would be. Greetings. So I want to try and get one more, and then I'm going to take a bit of a break, and I'm going to come back. I'm also going to finish my tea. It's cold now, but whatever. Oh, we stopped dropping frames now, by the way. Like, almost exclusively. It was slowly, like, ticking down. I think my computer may have just been crying out in agony. Maybe it was, like, doing a Windows update or some bullshit. I'm actually going to go check and see if that's what it was doing, because that's very possible that that is what was happening. Windows Update settings. Yes, that is exactly what it was doing. My PC was installing a Windows Update. For fuck's sake. God. That's really annoying, that is. But, oh well. I can't believe that's what that was. That doesn't so much fit here, but, like, that sounds more like magic item territory, like brawny booze, booze of brawn. You know, you get intoxicated on the booze of brawn, and it makes you better at punching people or something. I don't know. But these are more very sort of general, like reckless attack. Take that, and then make a bunch of different sort of variants of it. Is, you know, benefit for cost. And final fortitude could be too much of a cost for what you get. Adrenaline rush is I think is cool. I'm not sure if whether it's as, you know, of its application, but where it's good, I think it's really fantastic. So I think adrenaline rush is a good sort of landing zone for oh, I remember one of the ideas I had. Relentless chase. When you move on your turn, you may gain a bonus to your movement. Up to your move. You may gain a bonus to your movement this turn up to your base walking speed. When you do so, on your next turn, on your next turn, you lose movement equal. When you do so, your speed is reduced by an amount equal to the gained movement until the end of your next turn. So there we go. That was one of the original ideas I have, is allowing barbarians to overexert themselves and zoom forward. This with freedom of movement, yeah, it's probably very good. It is your base walking speed, so... Oh shit, yeah, your movement can't be reduced by freedom of movement, yeah. Hang on. This reduction to speed cannot be prevented in any way. So there we go. To remove the cheese of just casting freedom of movement on your barbarian and just watching them just get a free dash action every single turn at no cost. I don't know, actually, that's a 4th level spell slot. No, at high levels, that's like no cost at all. Yeah. Yeah, because at high levels, a 4th level slot is like nothing. Especially when that means that your barbarian becomes Sanic. You start playing Escape to the City at the maximum possible volume, base boosted to the max, as the whole realm shakes around them as they thunder across the battlefield at the speed of light, or the speed of sound, because he's got places to go. He's got to follow his rainbow. So we've got 4. I think that is a cool place to take a break, because I want to take a break, because I want to get some tea, and also drink some more water, which I don't need to take a break for. I can do that right now, which I'm doing right now. Water drunk. Congratulations, me. I did it. Hydration is important. From this to the end of the class description. I'm also, actually, you must be raging to use an outlet. This seems... I'm not sure why Reckless Attack does not require you to be raging. It really feels like it should require you to be raging, but then again, I don't think raging should have uses. I think rages should just be... you rage, and that's it. Like, it shouldn't be uses behind being angry. Like, yes, I have this many uses of angy. Seems a little stupid if you ask me, but... that aside, I am going to go take a break. I'm going to get myself some tea. I shall be back probably within the next sort of 10 minutes or so, depending on, well, whether, like, I end up making myself some food or not, because it is, like, 6 o'clock, so should probably think about that. But yeah, hope everyone's enjoying themselves so far. Go take yourselves a break as well, take a piss, whatever. The standard people stuff. I shall return shortly.